It's the largest bilateral trade and investment relationship in the world. Trade between the US and EU stands at roughly $1.5 trillion per year. But incoming President Donald Trump claims Washington's getting a bad deal. He's threatened tariffs unless Europe reduces the trade deficit and buys more US oil and gas. The EU's trade surplus for goods stood at over $150 billion in 2023. But officials say that doesn't tell the whole story.
The EU has a substantial trade in goods surplus with the US, whereas the US has a substantial trade in services surplus vis-à-vis the EU.
Donald Trump's also threatened tariffs on EU member state Denmark unless it gives up the autonomous territory of Greenland, citing national security concerns.
EU officials say such threats are purely hypothetical, and Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says she's looking forward to a positive engagement with the incoming administration.
But that might come at a price. Trump has called for NATO allies in Europe to boost spending on defence to 5% of GDP, compared to the current 2% benchmark.
We've been derelict in terms of what we spent on defence, and I think what Trump has said, not unreasonably, is that if you expect us to support you, you expect the American umbrella to still be in place, the least you can do is pay for the supports.
Trump assumes the presidency with war still raging on Europe's doorstep. The incoming US administration has called for a quick resolution to the conflict in Ukraine, and the EU says it's willing to step up if Washington isn't willing to continue its leadership role. But Ukraine's president has urged Trump to maintain support for Kyiv.
President Trump is a strong man, and I want very much to have him on our side. For me, it's very important. I want to discuss with him more details about this war.
With the promise of carrying out an America First agenda, the international community is bracing for a more protectionist president. French President Emmanuel Macron has warned that a world of trade wars could be approaching, chiefly between the US and China. He calls it a moment of acceleration, and the EU will have to buckle up. William Denselow, CGTN, Brussels.